Hello everybody, Money Rags. What's up y'all? Today I'm going to talk about schizophrenia, depression, bipolar, anxiety, Tourette's. I think that's it. Then I'm going to give you a recipe for a world famous meatloaf. You guys are going to love that. Even if you don't like meatloaf, you will love this meatloaf. It's delicious. You can't go wrong. And then there'll be what chaps my chaps. Alright, so first let's talk about anxiety. Okay, you know that feeling that you get when you're going up a roller coaster, a really big roller coaster, that excitement, that pounding in your chest, the overwhelming, gut-wrenching excitement. Now, I'll combine that with watching a scary movie that you're just absolutely terrified. And that's about the feeling I have when I go into a grocery store or anywhere else. It's beyond control. You can't hardly stop it. You can't control it. I mean, everything's just all over the place all the time. Your heart's pounding, racing. You're scared of people, and people give me high anxiety. I have a lot of distrust, and that probably comes from my schizophrenia. But anyway, back to anxiety. Now, it can be debilitating. I want you to think of that fear, just thinking about going outside, and it grabs you. And the only way not to have that feeling is by not going outside. So you don't. So you avoid situations that get you to feel that way. I mean, it is terribly gut-wrenching. Now, people who are depressed, people say, oh, just get over depression. You can't just get over depression. It can't be done. Well, how can you be depressed and laugh at the same time? It's easy. I mean, how can it rain and the sun be shining? It's done. I mean, you could be sad on the inside and pretend like you're laughing on the out. I mean, and depression that's debilitating on its own. You know, you're laying in bed and you've got to get up, but you don't want to get up because, why? Why bother? It's terrible. So you've got to make a plan about getting up. Getting up is the very first thing that you have to do. Second thing is you're gonna have to take a shower. A lot of us with depression and stuff, with chronic depression, especially debilitating depression, I mean, we go long periods without taking a shower, but it's something that you have to do. You have to take that shower. You don't want to. It's pointless, but you got to do it anyway. And it is definitely crippling because you want to do things, but you just don't have the energy or the ability to. I want you to think of that kind of chronic depression that you could be at a funeral and how sad it is, and but one of the kids around does something that is funny. So, I mean, for that, I mean, you're still sad and depressed, but that one little thing made you chuckle a little bit. I mean, that's that little bit of happiness is what us depressives look for. It's horrible, but I found that if you get up, just get out of bed, take the shower, put on clean clothes, and just try to do one thing. You don't have to do all kinds of things. Just one thing throughout the day. You know, something that makes you happy. It'll be helpful. But depression is crippling. Bipolar, the extremes, ups and downs. I mean, people, how can that be debilitating? I want you to think for 1 minute. Uh, I don't know for you, for everybody. It's just like 1 minute you're absolutely fine and happy, and somebody can say something and you're absolutely fine with it, and then somebody else will say the exact same thing, and boom, you blow up. I mean, you've taken it out of proportion. That's the extreme down of it. And somebody else can say the exact same thing, and it make you laugh, and it's hysterical, and it's funny. Those kind of things are the extreme ups and downs, and you can't control them. The same exact thing that made you happy yesterday can make you anxious today, can make you mad in 10 minutes. Or 30 seconds or 10 seconds. It's crazy. And the schizophrenic part, I want you to imagine putting on, like I hear 7 different voices. I want you to imagine putting on headphones, 7 headphones on one ear. Okay, this not voices you don't hear inside your head. These voices you feel like you're hearing the outside. So I want you to take and put 7 headphones on your ear. Now I want you to put it on a station that you absolutely hate, each and every one of them. And try to concentrate with that going on, with what people are saying. It can get crazy, and the louder people get, the louder the voices get. Or the more anxious you get, the louder the voices get. The more depressed you get, the louder the voices get. It's crazy, and a lot of us would tear our hair out by the sides because we can't handle it. It is just absolutely freaking unbelievable. Things that relax me when I get to an unbelievable state. The sounds of water or wind chimes. I love wind chimes. They relax me. And I used to have ponds, but then I had a dog who had seizures and couldn't have that anymore because he loved the water, and I couldn't imagine waking up and him having a seizure in one of the ponds and him dying. So I got rid of all the ponds, covered them all up, drained them. They were all done. But I've got a faucet in the house that always drips. It runs. And what most people would think that would drive you nuts is really relaxing to me. I enjoy the sound of water, waterfalls, wind chimes. Those things have such a calming effect. The only thing greater than those things is my wife. Just being around her relaxes me. I mean, wherever I go, 24/7, she's with me. We go to the grocery store, she goes with me, and most of the time she waits in the car and waits for me, and I have to go through it, and I get such anxiety and all of this stuff. But she's always there. I get back out, I look at her, just her smile calms me. And then I have my service dog, and my service dog is absolutely freaking wonderful. He takes care of me. If I get too anxious or I feel like I'm going to hurt somebody or hurt myself, he gets in front of me and pushes me, gets my attention, and gets me out of that situation, gets me doing something else with him so I don't flip out. Then there's the paranoid side of me. I get up in the morning, first thing I do is I check under my truck for whether I'm going anyplace or not, for black boxes, if anybody's tracking me. And then when I get in the car, is it the right time? Now, mind you that when I go, my anxiety's got to be low, my bipolar's got to be mellow, depression's got to be mellow, because I can't leave if all of these things are out of control. If my voices are too loud, I can't go. And then I get in the car, and the paranoia then begins. And once the paranoia starts, then all of those other things start increasing. So I have to I have to check these things and make sure that none of these things are happening so I can calm myself. And my dog and my wife go everywhere with me, so those things calm me. So after I've checked the black box thing underneath my truck and underneath the hood and stuff, then when driving, I make sure that there are no planes above. I make sure that the cars that are following, I make sure that they don't follow too long. I memorize license plates. I memorize makes and models of cars. I make sure nobody's following me. If I think somebody's following me, I pull off. Wait till they pass, and then I get back on the road again. It's just crazy. And I always think that, like with my tinfoil hat, I go outside, I wear it. This helps protect from the government being able to read my mind, influence me, as far as the aliens go too. That the tinfoil hat helps. They just is beyond all of that. It helps. And then I want you to imagine Tourette's. Now I have small Tourette's. I have twitches and such that go on. Now I want you to imagine I don't have the voice Tourette's. I think sometimes that would come in handy, but I'm glad I don't. I really feel for those people with voice Tourette's, that would be unbelievable. But I want you to imagine being a regular, just doing something, and somebody's got a fishing line on your hand or on your leg or on your eyelid or on your whatever part's affected, and whenever you do something a certain way or whatever way, somebody yanks it, and you got that twitch going. It's crazy because you can't control it. It's just out there, man. I blink too much. I twitch my hands. My legs are always twitching. So things can be difficult. Now, all of that being said, I have to take my medicine. The medicine helps, but it's not a cure. I still have an extreme hard time. I can't leave my house. I leave my house. It's like 20 miles to town and back, and I might put 100 miles on my truck. I might go to town 5 times in a month. That's for food. That's for my dogs, to rescue my kids, and I never go anywhere after dark. My kids will tell you that. If something happens after dark, you're on your own. But it's just crazy. Now, her world famous Meatloaf. Okay, here it goes. Now, it's going to be a big meatloaf. I love meatloaf, and you can never have too much of it, especially my meatloaf. It's absolutely awesome. Okay, you're going to have an 8 or 10 pound package of ground beef. Now, you don't want the real fatty stuff, and you don't want the real super lean stuff. If you get the real super lean stuff, your meatloaf will come out dry. If you get the real super fatty stuff, then you have like 2 inches of grease in the bottom that you have to drain off, which isn't so bad if you have dogs, because then you can, put it on the dog food if that's what you choose. So you get your ground beef. Then you put, and the recipe for 8 pound or 10 pound is the same. But if you're going less than that, then you just automatically drop. You can do the math. Okay, so after you put the 8 pounds in a bowl, or 10 pounds, and I'll just say 8. After you put the 8 pounds in, then you put 4 eggs in. Don't separate it. Don't leave the egg whites. Don't just use egg whites. Don't just use yolks. You use the whole egg. Okay, you're gonna use 4 of them. Okay, then you're going to use a half a cup of ketchup. Put it in. Okay, and then you're going to put a teaspoon and a half of salt, a teaspoon and a half of pepper, and a half teaspoon of garlic powder. Don't use the garlic salt because that already contains salt. You've already put salt in. You don't want too much salt. You put a half in. And once you do that, now you have to decide whether or not you're going to use, if it's going to be like a taco, because this recipe goes for many things. But if you're going to use, like make a taco meatloaf, then you use taco seasoning also. If you're going to use chili meatloaf, then you put the chili seasoning in. Okay, it's really good. So you get all that, you mix it all in, and yes, it feels runny at first, and then you're either going to take oatmeal or cornflakes or crackers. Now you're going to make sure that if you use the crackers or the cornflakes, that you crush them up really, really good. Okay, and then you start adding, and there is no specific amount because you'll just have to do it to the texture that you want. Okay, the more firmer it is, the drier it's going to be. The less the moisture is going to be, but you need some in it. So you put whatever you decide in that, and you squish it all up, and you mix it up real well. It's all good and go. Okay, then you flatten it out to about 2 inches. Okay, it's there. You got 2 inches down, and once you got the 2 inches thick, and you spread it out, and it's about 10 inches wide, and you spread it out. Okay, so if you're gonna make a taco meatloaf, then you put your lettuce, and you say, well, lettuce? Yes, trust me. You put lettuce down, you put tomatoes down, you put whatever else you're going to put on a taco except for the sour cream and that stuff. You put that on, okay? And you spread it all out on the flat. And if you use the chili one, then you can put chili beans down, or you could put regular chili and put it down on the meatloaf. Make sure it's all over the meatloaf. Then you're going to take your favorite cheese, whatever cheese it is, and you'll put it on it. All over. Okay, and now it's all flat, and it's all over, and you've got it all down. Okay, so you can even use lunch meat. I like to use lunch meat, or I like to use bacon. Bacon, if you use it, make sure you've cooked it. It comes out really rubbery, and it makes your meat look way too greasy if you don't pre-cook it. So pre-cook it, and you put it on, and once you got everything on, your favorite dish, you put it on. It doesn't matter what it is, except for fried chicken. I don't think fried chicken and meatloaf would be very good, but I don't know. I've not tried that yet. So once you've got your favorite dish on there, and you've got it all out, you could even put Doritos down on, and then your chili beans for, like, if you like Dorito chili pie or Frito chili pie, you can put those down, and then you roll it. You're rolling it up, and you're gonna make it like that. Okay, once you've all got it all rolled up, and then you're gonna put it in a pan. Now you gotta put it in a deep pan, because you're gonna get grease off of it. And you've already preheated your oven to like 350, 375, somewhere in there. Okay, so once you've rolled it up, you got it in a pan, deep pan, then you're gonna cook it. Now it's only gonna take about an hour and 10 minutes to cook. Hour and 10 minutes for those of you like it a little more well done than others. It's done. You cook it, you bring it out, you slice it up. Man, the next day you put it in the fridge that night. Next day you chop it up. It works excellent. I mean, it's so delicious. Cut it up and you put it on sandwiches. You can put sour cream on top of it. You can eat it like a taco. You put it in a taco shell. It would be really good. I mean, the meatloaf is amazing. once you've got the basics down and you've got your favorite dish on it is amazing. It's so good. It really is. I can't even describe it.